Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video we are going to be featuring some battles from Snipedbrah, someone I featured quite a bit, and this is coming from the Pogoraids Discord. This is the status Master League draft, and these are the points allocated for them. 15 points to draft a team of 6. You can see here Primal Groudon is 15 points. So if you select Primal Groudon on your team, you can only select from the 0 point, which is basically everything in the basically in the 0 point list, which basically limits you a lot. If you do Kyogre, then you can only select one point, and then the rest of them 0 points. So you have to be very strategic. Obviously, Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre are the two strongest Pokemon in the meta. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the first team. This is Snipedbrah's team is Mega Swampert, Zacian. These movesets are just made up. I just put in more of the default tiers in PvPoke. Dragonite, Meloetta, Zapdos, and Terrakion. First round opponent has normal Kyogre, which is different than Primal Kyogre. Lugia, Zarude, Palkia, Goldengo, and then Scizor, Mega Scizor in this case. So let's take a look at this team here. So what's actually pretty decent here? Zacian looks pretty decent here. Well, I guess the two steel types do make it a little bit more challenging here. Is Zapdos actually pretty strong here? Zapdos? Yeah, Zapdos is actually looking pretty good. Very good against the first two. Good against Zarude as well. Neutral against the Palkia, Goldengo, and good against Scizor. So Zapdos actually looking really strong on this team. Maybe Palkia is the hardest one to deal with, but Palkia also looking very strong against this team, especially with lots of checks to Zacian. But let's go ahead and see what these players are going to run. We do see Zapdos into Goldengo. This is a pretty neutral matchup, but Goldengo is very glassy, rocking the Zap Cannon, which is a very expensive move, and catching the Shadow Ball. Very nice play here. This is going to do almost no damage to and rocking the quick attack on the Goldengo. And then here comes Mega Scizor. And we're going to see how this is going to play out. And we do see the Thunderbolt coming through. This is played on a tablet, so it looks pretty weird here. We're going to see what's going to get thrown here. It's going to be the Night Slash, which does deal super effective damage. But Meloetta, pretty strong here. Pretty tanky. Going to land another. Oh my gosh, is it going to go? Oh, nope. Okay, not able to. And going to be able to farm it down. Or we're going to see. Okay, going to go straight for the Zap Cannon. We're going to see what this Goldengo is going to do. It's going to no shield. Oh my goodness. And then here comes Lugia. And this matchup is definitely over here. Are we going to see the bait? No, we are not going to see the bait. We're going to see the Zap Cannon. We'll see if the Zap Cannon debuff happens here. Does get debuffed here. That is pretty brutal for this Lugia. Honestly, you probably don't need to shield. Actually ends up surviving, and this game's over here. Not really too much here. You can actually probably go straight play rough, and no need to reveal the wild charge. Though I guess I'm trying to think of why you would wild charge here over close comp. Actually, gonna throw the wild charge here. I guess not gonna reveal the second move. Probably gonna look to farm it all the way down, and gonna be able to farm it all the way down. I'm actually not sure if this is in classic or in okay, we're gonna see the Mega Swampert into Kyogre. Pretty neutral matchup here. I think this is classic, right? Yeah, this is classic, because I think Kyogre goes to 46 something, right? Oh my gosh, that Earthquake did a tremendous amount of damage. This is gonna be a neutral damage. We're going to see if this is going to be enough. It is going to be enough. Are we going to see the Zapdos farm down? No, we're actually going to see a quick attack down and going to be able to quick attack down. Are we going to see the Scizor here? We will see the Scizor, and we're going to see a Wild Charge come through. We're going to see the immediate swap into Zapdos, and we're going to see what this Mega Scizor is going to do. We're going to see a Night Slash come through. Zapdos is very glassy here. So that's a significant amount of damage. And gonna wait and then throw the drill peck. This is gonna be enough to take out the scissor, but will it shield? It will be able to. Oh, actually ends up surviving here. Here comes Golden Go. Oh man, this is pretty rough here. Gonna throw the drill peck, hoping to land the bit. Oh my goodness! They actually decide to no shield there, which is an incredibly gutsy move. And they no shield again. This matchup is basically game over here. But let's see if Snipedbrah can pull something out. Gonna throw the drill peck again, and we're gonna see. We are gonna see the shield. And they will throw on alignment. Not going to be able to survive here. Oh, man. This is pretty rough here. But can you farm? Is it realistic? I guess you shield and farm down. Shield and farm down, then double wild charge this scissor. The scissor doesn't have a move. Or doesn't have a... Oh, actually going to throw here. Oh, interesting here. Okay. Oh, actually able to quick attack down the scissor. Very nice play. I actually thought that matchup was over, but Snipedbrah coming out of nowhere like a true sniper and winning the game. And we're going to see Zacian into Mega Sorcerer, which is a terrible lead. We're going to see the immediate swap into Dragonite, which is not a great matchup either. Let's see. We'll be able to survive any move here, and they do throw the Night Slash. And we will see what they're going to do here. Going to go for the bait. The Mega Scizor would survive the superpower. So, oh my gosh, no respect for the move there. But going to be able to land this Dragon Claw. Very nice timing. The Palkia will definitely survive this move. And going to look to quick attack down this Palkia. They do land an Aqua Tail. It's not going to do that much damage. Probably about 25-30%. Yeah, about that much. And then going to look to try to quick attack down. Will this Palkia make it to another move? It will make it to another move. Going to let this go. And we will see what's going to come in. Almost certainly the Scizor. And going to throw the Wild Charge right away. And going to look to switch into Zapdos after this. And we will see what's in the back. They end up just straight up throwing the Night Slash. Going to let this go. The Night Slash does connect. And we're going to see what's going to happen here. Going to have to shield this. We're probably going to see 4 Thunder Shocks and throw the Drill Peck. Oh, here comes Golden Go. They've been calling the bait all night. Will we see the shield or will we... Oh my goodness, they actually do get the shield there. That is tremendously bad. But can you outpace and make it to our move? It looks like it, right? But you need to be able to outpace this... and gonna throw the Zap Cannon again, which should be enough to take out the Golden Go. And gonna force the Scizor to throw, but gonna make the nice catch. And well, honestly, the Zacian would have been able to make it to the Wild Charge anyway, so this game would have been over anyway. So, but it's still a very nice catch there. And gonna be able to throw the Drill Peck and take out the Mega Scizor. Man, Snipedbrah on a roll right now, winning 3 games in a row against a very tough competitor. And we're gonna see Meloetta into Palkia. Pretty neutral matchup here. Does have access to Dazzling Gleam, which will do quite a bit of damage. The Palkia does not throw here. We'll see whether or not they choose the shield. Oh, they do not choose the shield here. That is super brutal. We're going to see if the Scizor is going to come in. I'm assuming it will. Oh, no, going to go Kyogre here. And going to look to land the Thunderbolt. But do you choose to get farmed down here? This is a pretty rough farm down if you let them get farmed down here. Okay, going to go into Zapdos, and they will throw the Surf here. Not enough for the Origin Pulse, but the Surf does quite a bit of damage. And we're going to see how they're going to play this out. And this is going to be another Surf. It's going to do tremendous amount of damage. They're not in Drill Peck range yet. Probably going to do 4, then throw. Okay, going to do 3, throwing on alignment there. And we will see if this Kyogre will shield. It does not shield. It's going to be able to make it to another one because of the alignment throw there, which is pretty rough. And we're going to see what's in the back. It is going to be a Scizor here. Going to look to throw the Drill Peck just to put in Hydro range and then look to switch. Oh, actually, no, not going to choose to switch here. and they do force them to throw. Will this Scizor boost or not? That's pretty much their only play at this point in time. We're going to see how this is going to play out. Makes a beautiful catch here. I don't think you can undercharge this Night Slash. I think it will KO regards. Oh, they actually Trailblaze here. Oh, they actually did. Well, this is game over anyway. So this Trailblaze is going to do way too much damage. Oh, actually, no. Okay. Gonna see him. That was actually a very nice play by the. This is a CMP anyway. So the boosted Trailblaze is definitely going to do more than enough to this Mega Swampert, and that's going to be a GG. Very nice catch. Maybe had a chance to survive the first Trailblaze. Probably not, because it is double super effective, and Mega Scizor does have a very high attack. But a very nice 3-1 set win versus Crispy Chris. All right, we're going to see set number 2, which I'm just doing in alphabetical order, which is against Dr. Dave, who picked the 14-point Pokemon, which is Primal Kyogre, teaming it up with Avalog, Snorlax, Hydreigon, and Conkeldurr and Kartana here. So what do you like here? I think Zacian, pretty good against this team. Maybe the Kartana is a little bit iffy here because of well, actually, no, the Zacian looks super strong here. What else looks good here? I guess the Dragonite. Obviously, I have to be careful of the Avalog, can be quite tricky here. I'm actually not sure this is Hisuian Avalog or regular Avalog. But let's go ahead and see how this is going to play out. We're going to see Zacian here into the Avalog. It is regular Avalog here. So this is actually a pretty good matchup for the Zacian, since it is dealing super effective damage with the close combat. And they will throw the Avalanche, which will do a tremendous amount of damage. Oh, they actually have Icy Wind. Okay, well, okay, I don't know why PB Poke did not select Icy Wind. Gonna throw the close combat here. And actually ends up surviving that move. And gonna throw another close combat at the Avalog. We'll see if they do shield. They do not shield. They are very debuffed at this point in time. I'm going to switch right away into Dragonite. Oh, I guess Dragonite doesn't have another Pokemon that it's weak to in the back, right? So I'm going to shield the Surf. And man, this Primal Kyogre is doing work versus this Dragonite. And going to throw the Dragon Claw. Should be able to reach another Claw. Okay, going to throw right before they make it to another move. But Primal Kyogre is very tanky and going to be able to throw the Surf. I don't know if this Surf, I've actually never seen a Surf thrown from a Primal Kyogre to a Dragonite. She does a little bit less than I thought. And then here comes, oh man, we're going to really have to hope that you get the shield here. Otherwise, this is, oh, actually does get the shield. That's actually humongous here because Kartana is made of paper and going to be able to land the close combat. And this will surely KO it. Or you can switch to Swampert and farm it down. And then we're going to see the swap to Swampert here. And this is game over here. And that is going to be a GG. Shielding that Dragon Claw was a huge mistake there. But it was very risky there because the superpower would have did a tremendous amount of damage. But wasn't at it. And we're going to see Dragonite into Avalog, which is a terrible lead. Going to switch into Zacian and going to be met by the Kyogre. But this is not the worst case scenario here, right? Because going to be able to Dragon Breath down this Kyogre afterwards. And they actually do end up throwing the move here. And they will throw the Surf. Oh, they're actually going to shield here. Interesting. Maybe once shields down versus this Kyogre. Because then would be able to superpower the Avalog. And that does quite a bit of damage. Going to wait the clock here. And then come into Dragonite. Going to have to absorb this move. And gonna let this go. And they do throw the Surf here. And then probably gonna look to switch right away. And they come into Avalog. And then, oh my goodness, this is interesting here. Gonna throw the Sacred Sword at good timing here. This is a very tricky situation. Gonna let this go. I don't hate that play there. And gonna try to make it to 2 there. Not able to make it to 2. Guess it doesn't really matter here. I guess you could have thrown. Could have thrown there and then potentially shield. I don't know if they would have made it to an icy win there. It would have been pretty tough there. And we're going to see Swampert into Hydreigon. This is a very favorable well, this is a favorable matchup. I wouldn't say very favorable matchup for. And we're going to see likely the Brutal Swing. Doesn't KO. Does do quite a bit of damage. Are we going to see some mind games here? We're going to see the Hydro Cannon break. The Earthquake would do a tremendous amount. And the opponent does end up shielding. We'll be able to make it to this EQ before they make it to another Brutal Swing. They end up letting it go and able to farm down. Swampert winning the 0 shield, which is very good here. And we're going to see the Avalok come through. And this is pretty rough here. Gonna throw the Dragon Claw. Potentially grab the shield while keeping the... Oh my goodness, they actually legitimately no shielded there. That is a savage move there. And that is very bad here. Gonna have to let this go, right? I don't see another play here. And they do throw the Icy Wind here. Maybe could have waited the clock a little bit more here. And gonna throw the Hydro Cannon. Really drawing down the clock as much as possible, but could have waited the clock there to preserve... Oh, man. There's absolutely no way. These waterfalls are doing too much damage. I think you just have to go straight for the Thunderbolt. There's really no other win con. Okay, gonna go for the bait, but they should be 2 away, right? Actually gonna be able to make it to the Thunderbolt here. I actually miscalculated here. I thought they were gonna CMP tie and the Kyogre was gonna win, but will Kyogre survive? It will easily survive this move here, and we are gonna see the Surf easily take out. That was a huge call. After getting baited once, you cannot bait me twice. And we're going to see Snipedbrah actually behind in this matchup. And we're going to see Primal Kyogre versus Zacian. Zacian does have access to this Wild Charge. Gonna shield here. Interesting. The Surf would do a lot. And then gonna throw the Wild Charge, going all the way up to as much energy as possible at 96 energy. And gonna switch out into Dragonite, and we're gonna see whether or not gonna throw the superpower. Will this Avalok shield or not? I cannot tell. It does end up shielding, which does prevent. Ooh, that is pretty rough here. Do you throw right away? But the Avalok is certainly going to just farm down, and we're gonna see the close combat come through. Surely is going to see a shield. Oh, they actually decided to no shield here. And then here comes Snorlax and able to make it to the close combat. That is brutal here. And this Mega Swampert is going to try to do work versus Snorlax. Going to have to let this go. And we're going to see how this is going to play out. 2 Hydros is probably enough to take it out. Going to have to let this go again. Gonna throw the Hydro Cannon. But this Hydro is probably enough to take out this Kyogre in the back, right? Okay, gonna throw here. I like this play. I think this is in the bag for... Okay. Yeah, I think this is in the bag. And gonna be able to land this Hydro Cannon and take out the very surprising no shield from the Avalok. I think the Avalok could have farmed out and then debuffed the last Pokemon into Oblivion. There's really not too much in the back that can absorb. There's nothing in the back that can absorb the Icy Wind that well, and ends up being a very good game there. All right, we are in the 3rd set here against D2 Borg. I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyways, with Genesect, Mega Latios is a very strong Pokemon. Solgaleo, Buzzwole, Mewtwo, and Suicune. What do I like against this team? I think Swampert looks okay. Obviously, the Buzzwole is a little bit tricky. And so is Mega Latios. And the Suicune is also tricky against it. So maybe not so much. How is Zacian here? Zacian is tricky to use because of Solgaleo and Genesect. I guess it depends on which of the Genesects gets selected here. This looks like a pretty tough matchup. How about Zapdos here? Zapdos is kind of playable here, but I guess it depends on the Genesect too. We are going to see Mega Swampert into Solgaleo, and we are seeing the Solgaleo staying in. Very interesting situation here. And we're going to see the Earthquake come through, throwing at good timing. After 10 mud shots, we will see the Solgaleo will end up shielding. It does end up shielding here. I guess it has access to Solar Beam here. And we actually see the bait here. That is pretty rough here. And we're going to see the Genesect come through. Is that normal Genesect, I guess? Normal Genesect? Running ABA Steel. Very interesting. Gonna let this go. I'm assuming this is gonna be a Techno Blast. Oh my gosh, it's actually super effective. I can't tell what drive it is. I'm assuming you come back in Swampert, and you're gonna throw the Hydro Cannon, and we're gonna see if they end up shielding or not. They do not end up shielding, and gonna throw the Earthquake at this Latios. Unlikely we see the shield, but let's see. And then gonna switch out into Zacian here, and gonna let this go. It is a Snarl Zacian, so it does do more damage with the fast moves. Gonna let this go again, I assume. Okay, gonna shield here. And gonna throw the Wild Charge, and we will see what they're gonna do. They will end up no shielding here. Oh man, that's actually pretty rough here, but I guess you can farm down. I think you have to farm down this Latios, right? There's absolutely no way. Yeah, this Latios will make it to a move and does a very nice backflip. I don't think shielding that second move there was the play. The second Psychic Fang. That was definitely a critical error on Snipedbrah's side, but we'll see. And actually going up a Shadow Mewtwo. But Mega Swampert does outpace the Mewtwo. So this is not the worst case scenario. Can survive one Side Shark. Does a tremendous amount of damage. So we do end up seeing the shield. And gonna throw the Hydro Cannon. Does have the access to the Hydro Cannon again. But will we see... Okay, is gonna throw it again. The question here is, will the Mega Mewtwo shield? It does not shield. And then here comes Latios. Are we going to see a bait? Are we going to see... Going to go for the bait against the Mega Latios. I like this play because they did throw the Earthquake last time. Just going to commit. Force them to throw. Almost for sure lets us go, right? No point in shielding us. Not no point, but very little point. And we see the Snarls coming through doing a lot of damage. One Luster Purge will do a lot. Will we see the bait? We do not see the bait. And we do see the Solgaleo coming through. This is going to be an interesting endgame here. I actually didn't see what move the Zapdos has. It has Thunderbolt here. And going to go straight for the Thunderbolt. We will see if the Solgaleo will shield or not. They do end up shielding. It probably survives a Psychic Fang. But I don't think we'll survive another move here. Going to have to throw the Drill Peck. And then hope that the Snarl... This is actually going to be a very close endgame here. Right? So... And going to throw this Wild Charge. They tried to catch there. But I think it's better to build up here. But... Okay? The question here is, does this Solgaleo have... What charge move does it have? It actually got to the Solar Beam there. I think throwing too early versus the Latios was a critical error. Ended up being very costly here. And Snipedbrah is the one getting sniped in this matchup here. Oh man, this is pretty rough here. We're going to see the Dragon Claw come through. The Dragon Claw does not KO. Does do quite a bit of damage, but it's not enough here. Are we going to see the bait? We do see the bait. We will see whether or not this Latios will shield. It does end up shielding. Going to go for the Earthquake. Going to be able to reach it. The Earthquake, we know, doesn't KO, but will put the Latios very low. So, oh man. Gonna go into Zacian here. But will this Latios bait, or will it go for the Luster Purge? It does go for the Luster Purge. And we're going to see... Oh, they actually end up catching on Mewtwo. Very nice catch. And I guess you try to... Okay, making a very nice catch onto the Meloetta. Side Strike does come through, does a lot of damage, but going to be able to quick attack down this Shadow Mewtwo. Are we going to see the Genesect come through? Are we going to see the Latios come through? We will see... Oh man, this is actually going to be a very interesting endgame here. Going to throw the Thunderbolt, does some decent damage here. And it looks like this matchup is in the bag here. The Latios makes a beautiful catch, onto the Latios. Oh man. Oh, they actually end up throwing here, but now can you not just farm down this, farm it down? There's no way it makes it to... Actually, you're going to throw... You don't even need to farm down what I'm talking about here. You just throw the Wild Charge and then throw the Wild Charge into the Genesect, and that is going to be GG. Absolutely gorgeous game number 3. Snipedbrah. Is that game 3 or game 4? I think it's game 3. This is game 4. We're going to see whether or not Snipedbrah is going to be able to win this game here. And we see the Solgaleo in the front. Are we going to see a bait? We will see the bait. Last time did not bait, and the Solgaleo ended up shielding. They do end up shielding. They will make it enough to make it to the Solar Beam. Will they bait, or will they go for the Psychic Fang? They will go for the Psychic Fang. Gonna go for the Earthquake. And we're gonna see how this is gonna play out. And we're gonna see what's gonna come in. Gonna go into... Okay, this is an interesting situation here. They're gonna want to throw first, right? So just probably gonna dump both Wild Charges onto this Genesect as soon as possible. And this is going to be a close end game here. And what moveset does this Genesect throw here? They will end up throwing the Magnet Bomb. Does a tremendous amount of damage. Gonna let this go. This Technoblast is going to do a lot. It is not enough to KO. Gonna look to farm down. And then gonna look to EQ. Oh, okay, I would probably just EQ right away, but this is fine too. And because the Dazzling Gleam should be enough. Gonna let this go. The Earthquake would probably be enough anyways here. And gonna throw the Dazzling Gleam. Is this enough? It's a non-stab Gleam. It is enough. And Snipedbrah coming back from an 0-2 deficit to even up this set. Very impressive third set. So we're going to go ahead and go to the fourth set here. All right, we are in the next set here, and we see that Hater actually picked the 15-point pick, which is Groudon here with Nidalago, Regice, Melodic, Galarian, Zapdos, and Latias. So very random Pokemon here, but Mega Swampert is very, very strong into Groudon. And actually, Mega Swampert looks pretty decent into this team. Obviously, you have to be careful of the last 3 Pokemon. They're still pretty tough here. So we're going to see how this is going to play out. And we're going to see Dragonite into... okay, and we're going to see the switch out into Latias here. And we're going to throw the Dragon Claw. This actually looks like a pretty decent matchup for the Dragonite. Seems like it's doing more fast move pressure. Looks like you can one shield and farm down here. They will end up showing the move. Do you actually let this go here? And then just Mud Shot down? They do end up throwing the Psychic here. Gonna Mud Shot down here, and Energy on Swampert looks deadly here. To be honest, I guess you can go to Melodic here if you haven't, but we've already seen that we see the Zapdos coming through. Gonna throw the Hydro Cannon. It will probably need 2 Hydro Cannons to KO this Zapdos. And we're going to see another Hydro come through. And they actually end up no shielding here. And here comes... Actually, Oh my goodness, there's absolutely no way this Groudon, double weak to Hydro Cannon, will survive a Hydro Cannon from the Mega Swampert. Mega Swampert absolutely crushing this team right now. And yikes, yikes. That was an absolutely brilliant play there. And we're going to see Dragonite into Melodic, but this is likely a Dragon Tail Melodic. It is. And they actually decide to switch out because they want to bait out. Actually, I'm not sure what they're doing here. Gonna catch the Rock Slide. Very nice catch. And Mega Swampert is absolutely loving this situation here. Gonna throw the Hydro Cannon at this Melodic, which is gonna deal super effective damage. And we're gonna see what they're actually gonna bring in the Melodic here. And this Surf almost certainly doesn't KO. It does neutral damage. Actually gonna end up shielding here. Probably gonna bait here. I think this is a good bait. Okay. Ooh, man. Going over. Oh, not gonna bait. And I probably will survive this Surf, to be honest. It's a Mega Swampert into a Melodic. Gonna shield. And then gonna switch out. And we're gonna see, we are gonna see this Groudon come through. One move will certainly ruin this Zacian's life here, but it actually did a pretty decent amount of damage. Gonna throw. They know they want to get to 100 energy, but man, can this Groudon actually even do anything to don't you just come Dragonite here and absorb it? They actually Fire Punch here. Ah, oh my gosh, that Fire Punch did a lot. I'm not necessarily sure how you play this, because this, honestly, this press play is probably enough to KO. Oh, they actually decide to Fire Punch here. They actually did a lot. Gonna throw the Dragon Claw. I probably would throw the Superpower here, because it would do slightly more damage. Yep. Okay, but gonna throw the Hydro, and does have back-to-back Hydro, and this is gonna be game over. This is a very confusing team, to be honest. From the opponent's side, gonna throw another Hydro. Interesting, not. I guess the Dragonite and Melodic matchup is kind of weird. Oh my goodness, this is absolutely terrible. And it's actually a Dragon Tail Groudon, so I guess it's not as bad versus the Dragonite. Kind of makes sense to run it. It is worse versus Zacian, but could be worse here. Gonna shield. Let's see if this is gonna be a bait or if this is gonna be. It is gonna be a bait. Would have survived that Fire Punch, but still, we're gonna see here. There's no way this. Okay, there's no way. Gonna shield this Fire Punch. Interesting. And then here comes the Melodic, and gonna throw the Earthquake at this Melodic. And then probably look to switch into Meloetta here. Okay, they actually end up throwing here. Meloetta Quick Attack down. Presuming it has Quick Attack, not Confusion. Oh, she's going to go Zacian here. I guess that makes sense because you resist the Dragon Tails and going to be able to get a very nice farm down. This actually makes way more sense. I don't really know why I said Meloetta. Going to look to farm it all the way down. And does get the full farm down. We're going to see what's going to come in. Okay, it is the Neolago. And gonna throw the close combat. Probably gonna look to unload both. Oh, actually gonna switch here. And then here comes Groudon. Gonna throw the Psyshock at this Groudon. Still kind of a tough situation here. I think you have to farm down this. They actually end up Fire Punching here. Okay, you're gonna have to try to farm down this. They will throw another Fire Punch, and they're gonna have to look to farm. I guess the Fire Punch is it does have stab. Gonna throw the close combat. The two close combats is definitely gonna KO here. So, and they will survive that poison jab there. Makes sense. I keep forgetting that the Groudon is fire type. And then going to be able to take out the Neolago. Oh my goodness. Snipedbrah absolutely destroying this team. But this is a pretty interesting matchup here. Dragon Tail is double resisted here, but we'll have to throw the close combat in order to do any significant amount of damage. And they will likely throw the Fire Punch, which will do a lot of damage here. Man, just straight fire punching here. And gonna throw another close combat. They will end up shielding. This is definitely gonna KO. And then probably gonna come to Swampert and look to farm all the way down. We will see if this Groudon will stay in. Looks like it will choose to stay in. This is just a fire punch. Still did a lot. Still does a lot of damage. Oh my goodness, this Mega Groudon is doing a lot of damage here. Or this Primal Groudon, I should say. And we're gonna see what's gonna come in. It's gonna be, oh man, okay. But does have access to Psyshock, which is gonna deal super effective damage. It is stab too, but Neolago is very tanky here and does resist the quick attacks. And we're gonna see how this is gonna play out. The Rock Slide or Sledge Bomb or whatever moves unlikely to KO. And then gonna throw the Psyshock. But I think you no-shield this as the opponent because they're just gonna Dragon Tail down and desperately needs to make it to the move here to be any remote threat of this Earthquake. But this is game over here, right? This Melodic, well, oh, interesting. Not, I guess was really hoping that they were going to throw into the Melodic, which is probably the only reasonable play. You just go straight for the Earthquake here, right? Yeah, you just go. I think you just try to throw the Earthquake, hope that they no shield, because not really any other play here. Maybe could have switched out sooner and got double Hydro off, but very nice play. But ends up with a very nice 3-1 set. All right, we are into the next set. This opponent, Magic Carp 272, has Mega Gyarados, Giratina Origin, Excadrill, Zamazenta, Reshiram, and Armored Mewtwo, which is a spicy pick here. This Mega Gyarados, not as strong against Swampert as it once was as a normal Gyarados, because it does lose its flying typing and is. But Zacian looks really strong into this team. I'm curious what moveset will be run here. Certainly Play Rough, close combat is probably what you need. It's probably gonna, but we're gonna definitely see Zacian in this matchup. What else we'll see here? Honestly, this Swampert also looks pretty decent into this matchup too, right? So Giratina Origin is probably the toughest Pokemon for it to deal with. But we will see Zacian into, are we going to see Snarl or are we going to see Quick Attack? We will see Snarl, which is going to be better against the Giratina. And going to throw the Play Rough. Interesting, they didn't throw with the Giratina. Gonna let this go or gonna shield here? Gonna shield. The Shadow Ball does do quite a bit of damage here. And gonna catch on to the very interesting timing from the opponent. They do throw the Shadow Ball here. And we will, it's gonna be able to outpace though, right? So do you let this go? Gonna shield. They will end up throwing the Shadow Ball here. Gonna go to 100 here and throw the Earthquake at this Giratina. They end up no shielding here. And then here comes the Mega Gyarados. And gonna look to land the Earthquake. It's almost certainly a drill in the back, right? I would imagine. Does do quite a bit of damage. Zacian can certainly survive an Aqua Tail from the Mega Gyarados to do quite a bit of damage. So imagine, well, obviously it has no shield because there's no shields left, but they do throw here. Probably going to look to, oh, interesting, not choosing to double here before throwing. And we're going to see it let it go, and we will see, and this game's over here. Going to throw the close combat, and we're going to see the shield, and then we're going to see the switch out. No shield on the first move here from the Dragonite. And there's really nothing that this drill can do at this point in time. Going to be able to land the superpower, which is going to be more than enough to take out the drill Very nicely played. That's going to be a GG. All right. We're going to see Dragonite into Giratina. Good lead here. And we're going to see the Giratina actually choose to stay in. Does it have Dragon Pulse? Going to throw excellent timing. One Dragon Breath past the Dragon Claw in the middle of the 7th Shadow Claw. And they will go up to 8 here. Is that enough for the Dragon Pulse? It is enough for the Dragon Pulse. Oh man, that is pretty rough here. Gonna look to snarl all the way down. And oh my gosh, that's brutal here. That is absolutely terrible. They do end up just barely making to the move. And we're gonna see how this is gonna play out. And we're gonna see the drill come in. Gonna throw the close combat. And gonna, oh, interesting. They didn't throw there, or didn't throw. Oh, they actually Scorching Sand. That's an interesting play there. That is a very, wow, Scorching Sand. I didn't realize they actually had Scorching Sand. And we're gonna see the, is it Gyarados in the back? Do you just stay? I don't know here. It is the Gyarados in the back. Gonna switch out because you are very debuffed at this point in time. And I don't know how you play this as a Gyarados, right? They certainly will survive the Earthquake. They actually end up throwing the Crunch here at the Swampert for some reason. I guess it does slightly more damage. Maybe it's easier to farm down afterwards. But now this Swampert looks like it will make it to the Hydro, which the Gyarados does resist. But will it survive? It will just barely survive. And man, looked like it was a disastrous situation there. And we're going to see Dragonite versus Reshiram. And we're going to see who's going to win this matchup. And they make a very nice catch onto the Gyarados here. And we're going to see the Terrakion come in and going to shield this Aqua Tail. Probably going to look to double up. Maybe do 3 more than throw the Sacred Sword. Yeah, 3 more than throw the Sacred Sword. There's almost no chance that they'll shield the Gyarados. This should be enough. It is super effective. They actually will end up shielding, I guess because they get the CMP tie. Oh, very interesting there. Probably going to undercharge this Sacred Sword and then try to come out with a bit more energy. It actually is still enough to KO. And we're going to see, going to go back into Dragonite. And they are going to throw the... This is an interesting situation still there, though, right? Going to wait the clock. Still a very interesting situation here. And we're going to see Zacian come back in. We'll likely see the Shadow Ball, then Bail into Reshiram. But will 2 Rock Slides end up KOing the... And actually throwing the close combat bait here. This is a very interesting move. They actually end up no shielding there. And then going to throw the close combat again. I'm not sure for what reason here. Oh my goodness. This is a savage play. Okay, this is game over, right? This is game over. This Reshiram has yeah, this is too much. Well, is it game? It's definitely game over, right? Even if you end up landing the Rock Slide before this. Yeah. Okay. All right. That was a very weird. And they end up landing the Fusion Flare, which is resisted from Terrakion, but going to be more than enough. Very weird game there. And we're going to see Swampert versus Armored Mewtwo. This should be a favorable matchup for Swampert, but Armored Mewtwo is very tanky here. And Psystrike is a very powerful move. So we will see the Psystrike thrown right away. Probably going to do 1 through the Hydro. I imagine 2 Hydros is going to be enough to KO. And then I think you do 3, then throw the next Hydro. 1, 2, 3. I think they need 4 Confusions for each Psystrike. So you could try to CMP tie or just look to take them out. They're going to look to take them out. And this should be enough. No, it is actually not enough. Gonna let this go. And then gonna come in Zacian. Zacian with energy is pretty deadly versus this team. Actually gonna come in Dragonite here. Interesting. And we're going to see the Gyarados come in. Gonna let this go. I'm assuming it's going to be a Giratina in the back. Oh, no, actually, it's going to be a Reshiram. This is a very interesting team. They will throw the move here. They do double resist the Dragon Breath. Oh, that is very bad here. That is very bad. Undercharge this. Undercharge and snarl down. Still double resisting the... Okay, very nice undercharge. Very nice undercharge. And just going to throw the close combat and then look to switch. And then try to make it to the superpower. I think you survive this crunch anyways, right? So I don't necessarily... I guess, like, you get more Dragon Breath damage. But it could also preserve the shield for the Zacian, because it definitely would have made it to a move. But I guess it doesn't really matter here. I think... And we're going to see okay then. Someone I haven't seen in a very long time. Mega Charizard Y. Giratina Altered. Xerneas, Rhyperior, Kyurem, and Golisopod in Ultra League. That is kind of crazy here, but Golisopod actually very strong versus the Mega Swampert. So that might be the recipe here. But Mega Swampert looking okay in this match. Obviously very favorable versus the... Is it very favorable versus Charizard? It is favorable for sure. Giratina, obviously pretty neutral. Xerneas also neutral. Rhyperior, good against Rhyperior, but kind of bad against the Kyurem here. Will we see Golisopod? I'm very curious here. We will see Zacian into Kyurem. This is an excellent matchup for Zacian since it does double resist the Dragon Breath. Assuming it is running Dragon Breath, it is running Dragon Breath. They will throw the Glaciate, very likely here. Oh, almost certainly. I don't think why would they throw anything else here. And they come into Giratina. It is actually a Dragon Breath Giratina. This is interesting here, which is better against the Meloetta, but it is worse against the... Gonna let this go. They do land the Shadow Sneak. Gonna throw the Play Rough again versus this Giratina. Will they shield? They will not shield. Gets a nice farm down here. And we will see what's going to come in. Okay, it's actually... Oh, actually running... is that Feint Attack here? I'm confused here. They will throw the Blast Burn. And they will come into Kyurem. Okay, this is a... Is that Feint Attack? Does it know Feint Attack? I guess so, right? Gonna look to... Actually, no, is that Confusion? Okay. Maybe I thought it was Feint Attack because the wing attacks there. So gonna throw the Glacier. Oh, is that... Yeah. Okay. Maybe... Man, this tablet dimension's throwing me off here. It must be... Am I crazy here? Okay. Alright, I'm gonna look this up while this matchup's happening here. This is an interesting situation here. They will probably throw the Dragon Claw. Meloetta has... Oh, no. It must be... No, there's no way that's confused. Okay, I'm confused here. I'm very confused here. Was that Quick Attack? Confusion there. Okay. But the Zacian... They will throw the Claw here. Zacian does have the Wild Charge here. Will the Claw be enough? He does that, or does it have access to the Blast Burn? I wasn't counting here. They actually does not survive. It does not KO, I should say. Does not KO. And Zacian does survive and land the Wild Charge onto Mega Charizard. Very nicely played. And we're going to see, oh my gosh, another fantastic lead here. And will we see more of the same? And they will throw the Glaciate. Will we see the Giratina Altered come in again? And they will build up here. And then throw the Play Rough, which does a tremendous amount of damage. I don't think the Glaciate KOs here. So gonna let this go. And then gonna wait for the Dragon Breath. That's an interesting play there. I guess they could have came Charizard and absorbed this. And they will survive here. Come into... And then gonna look to farm it all the way down. Gonna let this go. They do Glaciate here. And then look to switch. And they will come into Dragon Breath. Giratina. This is kind of rough here. I'm not going to lie. Likely it's a Charizard in the back. Do you let this go? Okay, gonna shield. Does have to be careful of the Charizard catching here, I guess. And the Charizard does come in. Gonna throw the Hydro Cannon. Is this enough to take out the Mega Charizard? Why? It's very tanky. It is not enough to take it out. So gonna throw again. You need to land this Earthquake onto this Giratina. You have to shield this. Gonna shield, land the EQ. Is the Rock Slide gonna be enough afterwards? Oh man. Can Mega Swampert endure? It can, and gonna be able to land this Earthquake. You immediately swap, throw this Rock Slide. You pray that's gonna be enough. This Earthquake is gonna do quite a bit, but man, Giratina's very tanky here. I don't know if the Rock Slide is gonna be enough here. It's gonna be close here. It is gonna be enough, and Terrakion stands strong. Very nicely played. And we're going to see Terrakion into Rhyperior. This is an interesting matchup. We're going to see if it has Mud Slap. It does have Mud Slap. And going to throw the Sacred Sword into this Rhyperior. And we're going to see how they're going to play it out here. You let this go here. Do they have Breaking Swipe? The debuff does come through. Are we going to see the Galissapod? You'd have to have a hard answer to Swampert, right? Like, there's no way you lead Rhyperior and don't have a hard answer into Swampert. You have to have... Show me the pod. Okay, nope. They did not bring the pod. Oh, man. Okay, they must have Charizard in the back, right? No, there's no way they have Charizard in the back. That'd be too crazy here. It must be Giratina, right? Must be Giratina. Double Dragon. They will end up shielding this. You know you survive this. And gonna look to throw... They actually do have Giratina. This is double debuff, so it makes sense to absorb it here. Giratina is way tankier. Oh man, they get a very nice farm there. And gonna look to throw the EQ. It's definitely not gonna be enough. Can you Mud Shot down afterwards? Okay. Well, I think you shield Mud Shot down and then land 2 moves on the Curium is what you hope for. You shield this here, right? Because the Curium is not gonna make it to a... Unlike, well, they would just Dragon Breath you down. So, gonna go for the farm down. Gonna attempt it here and then land the EQ. Is a Hydro enough to KO this afterwards? But the Curium's dry, right? So you should be able to make it to another EQ. Oh yeah, the Hydro is definitely going to be enough here. Oh my gosh, Mega Swampert coming through there. Very nicely played. Oh my goodness. Snipedbrah is saying, okay then? What do you got for game number 4? Oh man. Now we're going to see if Snipedbrah can come back from this terrible situation here. This is definitely a favorable matchup for the Xerneas. One, because it switches in, plus it resists the snarl damage, and it's gonna be able to outpace here. I guess you can make it to the wild charge. Do you let this go? Gonna shield the close combat, and they come into Giratina. This is the Dragon Breath Giratina. Gonna throw the Play Rough. Can you make it to another one? They will throw the Claw here. I don't think this KOs. You can bank. Okay, gonna shield here. And gonna throw here. I think you would have survived there, but it would be very close. And gonna force this Giratina to throw, and then you Dragon Breath down, I guess. Kind of tricky here. This Giratina will make it to a move. There's no way here. This game's over, right? This is almost certainly okay, gonna throw the superpower. It must be a Curion in the back, right? Like there's no. Oh man, that does not do enough there. This must be a Curion in the back, right? Yes, it is a Curion in the back, and there's absolutely no way this is gonna be game over here. Gonna throw the bait, but it does not matter because after the debuff, well, first off, you need 2 moves to KO, so they're almost for sure gonna shield, which is illogical to go with the bait here. But they're just gonna throw the Glaciate and then throw the Dragon Claw. It's gonna be enough. The Earthquake will definitely not KO. And Snipedbrah also realizes this, and this is gonna be a GG. Very well played. 4th game by the opponent, but Snipedbrah comes out with a 3-1 victory in this set. All right, we are in the final set against the Mohican. So that anyway, 0-0. They have Mega Gengar, Dialga, Gyarados, regular Gyarados, Virizion, Ho-Oh, and Melmetal. What do I like on this team here? So I think Swampert looks pretty strong here. Obviously, the Virizion and Gyarados are quite problematic here. But how can you deal with both the Virizion and Ho-Oh? So Dragonite, Flyer, Ground, Core looks really strong here. The alignment's going to be pretty important here. Yeah, let's see how this is going to go. We're going to see Mega Swampert into Gyarados. Terrible lead here. We're going to see the Zapdos come. Oh, you're going to see the Dragonite come in. It's going to be met by the Dialga. Gonna throw the bait. Almost certainly will shield as the Dialga. Really no point in shielding, not shielding. But not gonna be able to. Oh! That is very rough there. The claw definitely would have been very handy. This is almost certainly game over here, right? Gonna let this go. Will a Draco be enough? It is going to be enough. Oh, man. The claw would have been so clutch there. Gonna throw the... Oh, man. Okay, well, that's rough there. That is very rough there. Gonna throw... The claw definitely would have been really clutch there. But will this matter? We will find out. It's going to be the Gyarados... No, the Mega Gengar anyways, and this would have been a playable matchup, to be honest, right? I think would have been playable if, would have been playable if would have landed the claw. Oh, landed the claw, it would have been a very playable game here. We're going to see Mega, oh my goodness, that is, yikes, okay. And we're going to see, it's actually a waterfall, Gyarados. Interesting. Guess better against Meloetta. Gonna shield. And gonna look to get shields down. And if they play the same team here, this is interesting here. But will they just let this go? I'm curious here. No, they will not let this go. And gonna come into Swampert. And then look to land the Hydro. And then look to swap out right away. Is Meloetta look poised to clean up here, right? And actually, this might be slightly better. Because then, okay, now, well, I'm going to switch out right away here. And, oh man, this is interesting here. You let this go. Does do quite a bit of damage. And then here comes... This is actually going to be an interesting end game. One Side Shock almost certainly doesn't KO. But I guess you can just shield and farm down. But will they make it to 2 Shadow Punches? Oh, gonna have to throw here. Oh man, that sucks. That is terrible there. That is terrible here. Gonna have to survive these waterfalls, which is okay, or throw here. That's interesting too, because the hydro cannons will still do a decent amount, and Gyarados is very glassy. You're actually gonna be able to win this game here, right? Oh yeah, definitely gonna be able to win this game here. That side shock actually did way more damage. I guess this is why most people don't run Gyarados in Master League, because it lacks the stat product to be able to compete. Even that neutral side shock. Okay, picking up a very good lead here, but this is still interesting situation here because this Verzion still has, it resists the snarls. It's not the worst matchup. But are you worried about Dialga in the back? They like to play the CMP tie. They will throw this again. I think you have to shield this. Gonna let this go. Gonna throw the, I don't know here. Let's see here. Gonna throw the play rough. They will actually end up shielding. You let this go. I guess they could have Stone Edge. You come in Dragonite. They're at least going up to it. Gonna shield. We will see. They actually throw the Leaf Blade. So they don't want to reveal. This is just another Leaf Blade. Oh, interesting. They're throwing Leaf Blade here. I guess they don't want to reveal their second move. I think you let this go still. And then farm it all the way down. Interesting. They actually will make it to the move here. Okay. Okay. They throw, I'm assuming Dialga's going to come here. Yeah, Dialga will come here. Oh, man. You throw the Psy Shock here. I guess if you land enough Psy Shock, you'll put it into claw range. And then, but this Dialga is going to win. This is a very confusing endgame here. Will you make it to another one here? Oh my gosh, Meloetta. And the clock is up too, so you could just throw the claw right away at this. No. Okay, well, you just shield and farm down. And if it's a Gyarados, then you should be able to take it out. They actually go for the Draco there. Oh, actually, no, it's actually the Mega Gengar. Gonna throw the Dragon Claw. Mega Gengar. Okay, gonna throw good timing. Gonna throw the Claw here. So there are 2. Can you KO in 6 Dragon Breaths? Oh, actually, no, you don't need KO in 6 Dragon Breaths. You can just throw another Claw at it. Oh my gosh, this Dragonite had so much energy, and that's going to be a GG there. Yeah, and the Dialga's still there, but very nicely played. And we're going to see a third game here. We're going to see Dragonite into Mega Gengar. This is an interesting matchup here. These Dragon Breaths are eating away. This is just a Shadow Punch. We should be able to survive. Shadow Punch is a very weak move. Obviously, Mega Gengar super high in attack, but it is pretty. Shadow Punch is a very weak move, so we're gonna see how this is gonna play out. They actually will end up shielding. I guess you shield and farm down, because if they come in Dialga, or you're gonna let it go. Gonna let it go here. Gonna come in Zacian and Snarl down. Gonna come in Zacian, Snarl down. Looks like they will make it to another move. Gonna shield. They do make enough energy for the... Okay. Gonna throw the play rough. This is interesting here. And we'll make another play rough. And this Dialga can choose to farm up. Or do you just go into Zapdos and sack it here? They will farm. Okay, I guess you have a shield here, right? So it makes sense to... they actually... What? They throw the Draco there. What the heck? What? I guess they were... In case the catch happened? Okay, this is interesting here. Is this a single move Verzion? I guess the Leaf Blade makes sense to throw at Zapdos if you have Sacred Sword. Okay, we're going to see the Drill Peck. This is almost certainly will KO. It's double super effective versus the Verzion. And actually, no, it does not KO. But we're going to see a huge Zap Cannon. You actually want energy on the... want to leave it a little bit more health, but okay, gonna throw here. Okay, interesting. I think okay, this is a very confusing end game here, but I guess it doesn't really matter here. Gonna throw another play rough here and take out this Dialga. Very beautiful game there, going at least neutral or positive in all the sets there. Very beautifully played. Turn it by Snipebot. Congratulations on the win. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see everyone in the next video.